Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross, stitch, and geeky. My name is Cece.
I'm Dammy.
And we're glad to have you here today. Today is I started to do Sunday because that's what I recorded last. It's Thursday, the 29th, right? 29th of October. Oh, October 2020. And this is episode 419. I should have practiced before we started. Sorry. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love y'all. I just practiced this and I suck at it. Oh my gosh, because it's my left hand. We love y'all. To all returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Look, Dammy's back.
Hi.
Yeah. So, so we're glad to have Dammy back, although you did make a surprise, unplanned appearance in Yummy's last week.
You made me.
I did make you. And it was very interesting to record in a car. So it is what it is. Okay, you guys, I'm foreseeing that this episode's going to be a little longer than normal because I have a ton of stuff sitting here on the couch to show you. We have to get caught up with people who finished stuff for the owl and all that stuff. So we probably should just go ahead and get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on her needles.
Yes, me. Did you notice the gentle glow of light?
No, I did not see anything in the reflection of your glasses.
I know. Look, you can see it in my glasses. I taught, if they watch Stitch With Me, I used it on the Stitch With Me, but I got a ring light to try to help us with lighting, both when we're recording like this, as well as when Dammy's home. So tell us yay or nay. We played with the colors and Dammy said this was the best option. So, okay. In my Nerdbird Makery project bag, I am working on a pair of socks for my bestie Katie, whose birthday was yesterday. She's okay. She knows they're coming. This is my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern that you can get on our website, javapearldesigns.com. It's on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Abstract Fiber Super Sock Plus in the Thistle colorway. So there is sock number 1. That was already... No, I don't think I had finished it. Sock number 1 last week when we recorded. And here is sock number 2. Look, there's a heel already. That means I'm on the leg. This adorable glass pumpkin stitch mark or progress keeper is from Ann Tudor. So I have been focusing most of my crafting attention on these because I want to finish them before Nanny Swemo starts on Sunday. So I'm going to talk more about Nanny Swemo in Yummy's because I dyed the yarn over the weekend for my sweater. So stay tuned for that. First time I ever dyed. I mean, not technically the first time I ever dyed because I dye my hair all the time, but yeah. Okay, so anyway, so this is what my primary crafting has been, is trying to get these done because I know Dammy will forgive me for not being done with their birthday cross stitch yet. I did work on it a little bit. I worked on it some this week. I made some progress. If I get these done before Sunday, then I'm not going to cast anything else on my needles. I will work on your cross stitch. What is the cute thing draped on the wall behind you?
Hold on. I had it minimized. This.
Yes.
It's Halloween bunting.
Oh, is it your roommates? No, you're in the living room.
Yes.
Oh, it's cute.
It's all of ours.
Ah, what is the purple thing on the couch?
This is Sarah.
Oh, hello, Sarah. You're sparkly.
This guy doesn't have a name, but he smells like chocolate.
His name should be Choco.
Thank you for coming to my tour.
When I talk with Dammy on FaceTime normally during the week, they're usually in their room. That's why I'm like, wait, what is all this? I like your mug.
So I got this from Target like in September, thinking, oh my gosh, it's a cat. I'm looking at it now. You see the little end bit on its tail? Pretty sure it's a fox.
I won't tell if you don't.
No.
We'll say it's a cat. Is it a black cat?
No.
Or a white cat?
Sure.
I can't remember how to. I can't remember how to do brown.
Project.
I'm done. That's it.
Oh, then we're done.
Okay, let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about her finished project.
Just one. Also, I signed black wrong. Black is this. So black cat. Actually, cat can be both hands. I just have coffee in the other hand. In my tired as a mother mug. Okay, here's my finished project for this week. I still don't know that that's 100% true to color, but I think it's better than it was. This is my 43rd preemie hat for this year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can get on our website, javapearldesigns.com. I did it on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn is Bernay Cotton Tots in the strawberry colorway and Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in the caution colorway. There we go. I will be taking a break from my preemie hats during Nanny Swemo that I'm going to talk about again more in Yummies. But I will catch up. So when I finish my Nanny Swemo sweater, I'll catch up on how many ever preemie hats I've missed. So this was the last of the pink hats for my birthday month hats. So there you go. And that's the only thing I finished. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. Dammy, you have anything to talk about?
My hands are empty.
Okay. School is tough. School. Oh, I was going to tell you when I was just watching back the last segment to make sure it recorded correctly, and the color was truer in the recorded than it was like right now while we're recording. So maybe. Okay, let me tell you about what I've worked on. First up in my sparkly project bag from Tilting Planet, I am working on Baba Black Sheep by the Prairie Schooler. The pattern was a gift from Michelle Bindi Stitchy. Last week when I showed you this is where I was at. That's a cue for me to put the image on the screen, Dammy. And here's where I'm at now. So, I think that's pretty true to color, actually. Okay, this is 18 count Aida fabric dyed pink by Erin the Two Martini Stitcher. And I made progress on the sheep. And then in the in-betweens, in the empty spaces right now, it's that pale gray that you and I picked out, Dammy. So, so there is that. Number 2 in my Outlander to Bed or to Sleep project bag by Stitch Toolbox. I have, where's the picture? Cats and Mandalas by Kitty and Me Designs, Pamela Kellogg. This is Cats and Mandalas February. Last week, when I showed you this is where I was at. Trying to put the paper back in the bag, and it's being very crinkly. And here is where I'm at now. So I made progress down there on the bottom. So making progress. This is a 28 count, I think, Lugana by Be Stitch Me. What's the color, Dammy?
Artemis.
Artemis. So you can see I'm making progress. But, oh my gosh, do you want to see the back? Look at that mess.
I don't think it's a mess. I think it looks nice.
It
looks better than I do it.
I'm talking more about like the huge pieces of, I need to remember to take a picture of this one. I haven't taken a picture of this one yet. And then the last thing in my Winnie the Pooh bag by Knit Run Dig, I am working on Edinburgh Castle. It's really hard to see if I'm showing this. There we go. Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. I am using Pattern Keeper software on a Kindle Fire 7. My needle minders are from Top Knot Stitcher. Grime Guard is from Crab Shack Stitchery. I'm using a Snippety, which I didn't pull one out, from Caddy Cross Stitches. And the silicone ties are from Amazon, and I'm linking them in the show notes because I know people are interested. So this is where I was last week. Dammy, do you have the number that I told you?
Yes, it's 29,600.
And what was the date?
The 21st.
So, okay. And now here is where I'm at. So I finished another column this week. This puts me at, I mistyped in the show notes. Let's fix that. There we go. That puts me at 30,400 stitches out of 265,824 complete. I'm at 11.436% complete, and I'm still at 5 of 60 pages. This next column, though, will finish page 6. But I'm not going to work on Edinburgh Castle during Nanny Swimmo. So today is Thursday. So I'm going to try to get 4 squares done by Saturday and then stop until after Nanny Swimmo. Yeah. And depending when I finish Nanny Swimmo and how much knitting there is for my cat vent cowl that I'm doing in December for Vlogmas, we'll have to see. Edinburgh Castle may have to take a little break until the new year, but that's okay because it will still get finished eventually. So, okay, Dammy, there is cross-stitch content in Yummies. So if people are just here for the cross-stitch, you should definitely stick around. And we have lots of things. So we should just get started with that. Hi, Dammy.
Pretty kitty.
Her can't hear you, though, because I got headphones in. I'm sorry.
Why can't you just give her the other headphone?
Well, because she's laying on it. Okay, now talk.
I'm pretty kitty. She's loving it.
Oh, is this your headphones?
Oh, hi, pretty kitty. Oh, she doesn't like it.
Okay, you went down. Say
Okay,
bye-bye, Dammy.
Bye-bye.
She just jumped on from the other couch onto this one. So, okay. Dammy. Now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. Do you want to talk about your thing first since you've got it right there, or do you want to wait?
Sure, she's very cozy. So my roommates and I went to Build-A-Bear for fun, and we got a bunny.
Does she have a
and
name?
Hufflepuff clothes. Buttercup.
My little buttercup has the sweetest smile. She's very cute.
Okay.
I asked Amy if Buttercup was for
got
me
Hufflepuff clothes.
because I'm a Hufflepuff too.
No.
She's very cute.
For me.
Okay, make sure and put her in the show notes so that I can link.
She's very squishable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and Dammy's changed locations too, just in case you missed it. I guess, did your roommate wake up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Dammy's in their bedroom now. Okay, Dammy. Something epic has happened.
What?
I am releasing 2 new patterns.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know the last pattern I released?
No.
The My Favorite Murder Mystery knit along.
Oh
yeah. The mystery wrap, which was well over a year ago. But life. So, I actually pulled up the patterns too on my screen so I can tell you all the details. So this started because I was sent a skein of yarn, or I was not sent, I was given a skein of yarn. And of course, I love designing for self-striping because I love figuring out new ways that you can do things to make the self-striping pop. There we go. Can you see the detail? So the yarn is, it's all about you Fidalgo in the Cherry Blossoms version 2.0 colorway. So I chose this textured pattern that reminds me of a lot of tiny cherries. I can't see myself on the screen right now, so I don't know if you can see things well or not. And so then I was trying to figure out what to name these. And so, of course, I went to my favorite TV show, Gilmore Girls. And there's a season 2 episode where Luke and Lorelai have been fighting and she won't go into his diner. So Rory goes in to get food and coffee for the 2 of them, but Luke catches on and refuses to give her the stuff unless she eats and drinks it in the diner. And what Rory says to Luke is, I'll have 2 coffees and 2 cherry danishes to go, please. So these are I'll have 2 cherry danishes. No, 2 coffees. I'll have 2 coffees and 2 cherry danishes to go, please socks. And they are knit as normal on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles. There's 3 sizes to fit foot circumference 7, 8, and 9 inches. And it is both toe up and cuff down. So there's that. And then I was given a skein of yarn to design with, and the colors are in the same color family as this. It's not as bright as this. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to design a cowl that uses the same stitch pattern, and they can be sisters. And so this is I'll have 2 coffees and 2 cherry danishes cowl with all that floofy yarn. Okay, so this is knit out of Pandia Jewels Floofy in the Miss Woodhouse Please Advise colorway. And I recommend that you definitely use a slub yarn or a thick and thin yarn to get the same effect as what I did when I designed it. It was knit on US 2's 2.75 mil needles. And the size will be variable depending on how many repeats that you do of the pattern. Mine is fairly long, so if I put it on here, it's going all the way down like to the middle of my belly. But You can also double it up. So these are my sister patterns. It's got a rolled cuff, or not a cuff, rolled edge on both sides. It's provisionally cast on and then grafted at the end. So here are, see, do you see that how they're kind of like in the same color families?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, I'll have 2 coffees and 2 cherry danishes to go, please, socks and cowl. And when this episode goes live, the patterns will have released, which probably means that the episode is releasing a little bit later in the day than normal, but that's just life. But I'm going to put a link in the show notes. So our patterns, as we've talked about recently, are no longer available for purchase on Ravelry because of their lack of accessibility and the way they have treated people with accessibility issues. So all our patterns are now available on Etsy and PayHip. And I will put a link in the show notes to both locations. And through, Damien, can you look at a calendar and tell me what day the 5th is? I think it's Thursday.
I also think it's Thursday. It is. It's a week from today.
When we're recording. So through the end of day on Thursday, the 5th of November, you can save 25% on either or both patterns with the coupon code, all capital letters, JPD Cherry. So that stands for Java Pearl Designs, JPD Cherry. And the code will work on either side, on Etsy or PayHip. Yeah, so I'm really excited. And I don't think Michelle has put it up yet, but I'll just talk about this here. So y'all know we've been doing the auctions with Michelle Bindi Stitchy to support Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep because of October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. And so Michelle will be having an auction. It should be, I believe it'll be set up by the time this goes live. She's Michelle Bindi on Instagram, and she will have up for auction both patterns as well as a skein of yarn to knit each of the 2 patterns. So the yarn that I sent her for the socks is not the same exact yarn as the pattern was designed with, but it is a self-striping, and this pattern will work with any self-striping. And then the yarn for the cowl is the same yarn, just a different colorway. I think it's like And the World Falls Down or something, which kind of feels apropos right now. So there we go. There are my brand new patterns. Yeah, I'm so excited. So excited. Okay, let me grab other stuff over here to show you. Okay, so I told you that I'm going to be doing Nanny Swemo, which if you're new here, Nanny Swemo is National Knit a Sweater in a Month, and it's a challenge that happens in November every year to knit a sweater of 50,000 stitches or more. It's a spin-off of NaNoWriMo, which is National Write a Novel in a Month, where you write a novel of 50,000 words or more. So the sweater that I'm doing is called the Sinister Cadigan. There we go. By Ankatyan Big.
Ankatyan Big.
There we go. Okay. And I will be knitting it in the round and then grafting it to make it into a cardigan. And I knew I wanted to use yarn from the fiber mill that I worked for. And so I went out there on Saturday and we dyed yarn. Let me show you the colors. There we go. So this very, very hot pink, which is like blowing out on my screen right now because it's so hot pink, will be for the yoke, where this one is pink right there. So right there. And then we didn't dye this one. This is just the undyed natural color, which will be for the cats. And then this color, this one was an adventure. It's okay. There, that's pretty true right there. So it will, this color will be where the gray is in this. And I had wanted a color kind of this gray. And then, as sometimes happens with dyeing, there was issues. This was actually dyed 3 different times. Originally, we dyed it, and it was too light of a gray. So we put it back in the dye pots, dyed it again, and inexplicably, it came out like a periwinkle blue, which we used a gray and a black dye. So we're not sure how that happened. So
we put like bleach in there or something.
No, I think the gray had blue undertones, and I think it just went nuts. So we put it back in and put black in. So now this is more like a charcoal black with gray undertones. So, and the yarn is 100% Shetland wool, which is very lovely because we love the UK after our time there. So there we go. Those are my 3 colors. I've got to get these wound up. I have 6 skeins of this. The nice thing about using the mill yarn is Shireen, my boss, was able to custom make the skeins whatever size I wanted. So these 2 are bigger skeins so that I only have to wind 1 skein of each color of this. But obviously she couldn't make this 6 skeins worth into 1 skein. So that is what I will be starting on Sunday, and I will be posting my progress daily on the social media. So I hope that you will join me for that fun. I got more yarn. Ooh, that shows that really good. This was a gift from my friend Mel for a belated birthday present. This is unique fingering yarn. Earth is the company, URTH, and it's a self-striping. I'm so excited to see this knit up. It was made in Turkey. The color is 3014. I don't know. 3014. It's 100% superwash merino, and they do this thing where for every skein of yarn that is purchased, a tree is planted in Africa. So that's really, really cool. So I'm thinking I will probably knit this into socks in the new year when it's so dark and I need bright color in my life. So there's that. Okay, and then I got this from That's So Kelly Co. It's a Bitsy Bob Basic. And it's like the Snippety, but it's larger. Look at that bunkin. That's stitched. Look at the back. It's very spooky. And there is a magnet under here. So I'm actually probably going to put this one in Edinburgh Castle because there's so much floss, and it's like my Snippety is like completely covered in floss. And I don't even have all the floss colors out that I've been using. I just have like I think I have like 6 colors out that are like repeatedly being used every column. And she tells you to keep the bag because once you put your stuff on it, you slide it down in your bag, and that way it's not going to like rub off on the side of your project bag or whatever. But she also sent, oh, cute, a zest card. And she sent floss drops. But they're really cool because you can either use them as a floss drop like I do, or they're bobbins where you can wind. So there's the witch's hat. There's a pumpkin. There's the candy corn. And the ghosty. So they're very, very fun. So I will link her shop in the show notes. Yeah. Okay, what's next? Okay, we got our Knit Crate shipment for this month. They are now shipping by default in these bags that are 100% biodegradable. They can be composted or recycled. Which, I mean, they were sitting them in boxes before, but this is a little better option. So, This month's yarns are Uru Yarns Chonk. It just came on, the label came undone. There we go. Chonk is an 82% merino wool, 18% Peruvian Pima cotton. It's a super bulky. 100 grams is 109 yards. And the colorway is petal. So it's, let's see if I can, that's a little.
Does it have those, like, is it like that orangey overtone that it looks like? It looks kind of red orange.
It kind of is. It kind of reminds me of like brick, but not as bright red. Kind of like an old brick, you know, that's been around for a long time. I'm gonna have to tape this label back close because it came undone. But so that was the yarn. So this month's theme was nudess. And they are changing over, which they've done a little bit this way during the pandemic, of making the patterns downloadable versus sending the big booklet. So so I don't have the patterns to show you. But also I thought this was really cool because this is the very first month of the eco-friendly membership option. So I already told you about the mailer. Oh, it's made of cornstarch. They offset carbon for every single shipment. And for October, they partnered with One Tree Planted. They are dedicated to global reforestation. And they plant the trees. Let's see. So because of the wildfires, they're supporting the One Tree Planted Oregon 2021 Orca Whale Project. They'll be planting trees along rivers and streams of the Pacific Northwest to restore the habitat for endangered orca. Many different types of trees, including grand fir, vine maple, big leaf maple, Douglas fir, bitter cherry, Pacific dogwood, Oregon ash, western hemlock, red elderberry, and more. So that's really cool. We are affiliates with Knit Crate, so you can use the coupon code, all capital letters, GEEKY20, GEEKY20, to get 20% off of your first order. It will only work to discount the first month of a recurring monthly subscription or any of their shop audit items. And the link for that is in the show notes, which is at,
forgot I muted myself, GGKCS.com.
Yes. Oh, where's the little, hold on, there was a little piece thing that came with it. Just had it. Where did it go? I don't know what happened to it. It was a little like progress keeper that was like a tiny mini skein. Oh, it's on the floor. I can't get to it.
That's okay. We can imagine it together.
Sorry. Okay, and I wanted to show you my nails. I know I already showed you, Dammy. These are from Color Street. They're called Hey Pumpkin. So I've got just the orange glitter on my pinky. I've got the spooky jack-o'-lanterns on those two fingers, and then on my pointer finger and on my, gosh, it's hard to show your thumb. I got the flames. So I will link to my friend Amy, Creativity by Gidge, where I get my nails at, in the show notes. Is there a problem with Buttercup?
No, I just realized that her top unbuttons because the robe and the sweater are sewn together, but I didn't realize the part with the tie on it, like unvelcroed, so you can get it on easier.
Oh,
because her scarf was coming off.
So okay.
I was fixing it.
Yes. And I already mentioned the auctions on Michelle Bindy's Instagram. I imagine she'll probably put those up later today. I think her work schedule changed again. And so I think she's having to be at work at like 6 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure that's an adjustment. Okay. And then, Dammy, the only other thing we have is hashtag GGK Crafty Pad.
Which
what
I
is
just
it?
finished. It stands, no, it doesn't stand for anything. It's our monthly photo a day challenge where we look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
Yes. And you had a whole lot to choose from because it had been longer than normal since we did this. But I also wanted to say that we released the November list today.
Mm-hmm.
And it is primarily about being thankful. You'll notice that the word thankful is on several days of the month because we really want to encourage you to, what?
That's on purpose.
It is on purpose because we wanted to encourage you to think of various things that you're thankful for. So what are we about to show them, Dammy?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job, everybody.
Yay.
It's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. Do you know today's prompt?
Couldn't tell you.
Hold on.
Wait, shenanigans.
Shenanigans. You interpret that however you wish. We're very cheater friendly. You post your photo on Instagram. Make sure in the caption you use hashtag GGKCraftpad. I just finger spelled it in case you were wondering, because that's how we find your photos. If you have a private account on Instagram and you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you because otherwise we can't see your photos. So send Dammy a message. They'll follow you. It'll be all good. Okay, this segment has been extremely long. I warned you. I told you we had a lot to talk about. And I know I have quite a bit to talk about in the next segment, so we probably should move on to it. Oh, Dammy, I picked this up while we stopped between segments. This is the Progress Keeper. It's from Hook and Cable. Yeah. They're on Etsy. Yeah, it's just a little skein of yarn.
Hold on, I'm going to the show notes because I can't remember what's next.
Reading, watching, listening.
Now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
Yes.
I actually need to update the section so I can tell you what I'm reading. Let's see, what did I read?
So has it been so long since you've recorded with me regularly that you just can't remember what we talk about anymore?
Sure. My brain is to the brim. So can't remember what I'd read last time, but I read The Language Archive by Julia Cho. I'm about to start reading Harvey by Mary Chase. I'll put all these in the show notes.
Okay.
I think after I read M. Butterfly by David Henry Hwang. What else?
I remember you talking about that one.
Oh. Unto These Hills by Kermit Hunter. That one's okay. The Thanksgiving Play by Larissa Fasthorse. What else? Disgrace by Ayad Akhtar. And my play directing textbook.
Fancy. Yeah. I know something else.
Skunk by Zora Neale Hurston.
Yeah, I know something else that you've been reading too.
Enlighten me.
Something about shakers.
You want to know something about that?
You haven't been reading it?
No.
Why don't you tell them anyway what we're referencing?
So the play that we were supposed to do here at school in the spring, obviously, got canceled. It was our main stage production, but it was part of a rolling world premiere because my school was part of a consortium that commissioned it. And so we're doing something for it anyway. We're going to do a one-night Zoom reading of it. So next week is workshops for it. And then we'll perform it for one night over Zoom.
Tell us the name and the playwright.
The Shakers of Mount Lebanon will hold a peace conference this month by Arlene Hutton.
There you go. And one more thing that you're reading because it's in the show notes.
The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katingo.
I know with all of that, Dammy, you're probably getting in 57 hours of reading a day.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. What am I referencing?
The October, November, December. Wow.
Read along. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day, every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. And there is a finish line thread in the Facebook group. And you post once and then you edit your comment. And by participating in that, you'll earn entries into the year-long challenge. And at the beginning of 2021, we will draw for 3 grand prize winners. We have not put those grand prize bundles together yet. Dammy will be home the week of Thanksgiving for about 6 weeks before winter quarter starts. And so we will do that once Dammy gets home. And you can earn bonus entries. All the details are in the show notes and on our website.
GGKCS.com. Sorry, I'm putting in all my plays into the show notes.
It's all right. Dammy is muting themselves when they're not talking because their roommates are home as well. So it is what it is. Okay, would you like me to tell you the 57 things that I've been reading?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm reading Complex PTSD From Surviving to Thriving by Pete Walker. It's a very intense book, and so I'm having to do it in small bites. I didn't put in, I started another nonfiction last night. Hold on. It just came, I just got it. I had been on hold for it and it just came in. I am reading Shameless by Nadia Bowles-Weber. Shameless, A Case for Not Feeling Bad About Feeling Good About Sex. This book was actually recommended both in the book that I read for the book club that I'm in, as well as in the Evolving Faith conference Facebook group. So I just started reading it last night because I barely just got like into the intro. If you have not listened to Nadia's podcast, it's phenomenal. It's called The Confessional. And people come on and they confess like their worst moment. And it's at the end, after Nadia and whoever the person she's had on talk, like probably a couple days later even, she writes a blessing for them and records it as part of the podcast. It's really a good episode or podcast. You don't have to make that yellow, Dammy. I haven't done the show notes yet.
It's yellow anyway. I'm not changing it.
Okay. Normally, so when Dammy is here and we record together in person, we normally don't record until after lunch. And so in the morning, I usually do the show notes on our website. And then while we're doing the podcast, if something comes up that we forgot to put in, we'll put it in and highlight it yellow. So I'll remember to go in and add it to the show notes. But it's, well, it's almost 11 o'clock now, but didn't have time to do that before we started recording. Okay. I'm continuing to reread the 5th book in the Harry Potter series, The Order of the Phoenix, with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This week was the second half of the Beetle at Bay chapter, which is the one where Harry and Cho go on their date for Valentine's Day, and then the meeting in what is the pub called in
Hogshead.
Yeah, but what's the pub called?
The Hogshead.
No, not that one. Three Broomsticks? Is that it?
Yeah. I
think that's where they had the meeting with Rita Skeeter and Luna Lovegood. All that. I finished reading book 2 of the Dr. Greta Helsing series by Vivian Shaw. The book was called Dreadful Company. She is a doctor for supernatural people, vampires, werewolves, etc. I finished listening to book 3 of the Guild Codex Demonized series by Annette Marie called Hunting Fiends for the Ill-Equipped. And this, as the series name says, this is about demons. This is like a whole supernatural, but set in modern day. And the rest of the human population doesn't know about all the supernatural things. But this ended on a big cliffhanger, and I have to wait for the next book. So, I finished reading Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Byron. This takes the story of Cinderella, but makes it 200 years later. And it's a very I lost the word. The men are very much in control.
Patriarchal.
Thank you. I have not had enough coffee yet. Setting, and the king is forcing them to have balls very often, and if the women are not chosen by men at the balls, they are sent off and not allowed to be part of their community anymore. And it had a very, very weird twist that I did not see coming. It was really, really good, though. Really, really good. If you like fairy tales with a spin, this book I think you would really enjoy. I read You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria. And this is very much the telenovela soap opera world, because it's set in a with actors who are in a brand new essentially telenovela, but it's being done on a mainstream streaming platform. And of course there's miscommunication and love and secrets and all this. It was really, really good. It was a fun love story. I really enjoyed it. And then the other thing I'm reading is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. I'm hoping I said that correctly. And it is, I don't really even know how to describe it. It is the story of, like, I want to say maybe a dozen different women, and we're getting all of their stories. And as I'm getting further in the book, you're finding the crossovers between these seemingly not connected women. It is, it has a lot of content within the LGBTQ world. One of the chapters I was just reading was about trans folk. And Yeah, so I'm interested to see how it all comes together, but it's set in the UK, and it's the author has a really interesting way of like formatting things. Like most of the chapters are not even complete sentences; it's like phrases, and punctuation is not used as it normally would be used. Capitalization is not used like it normally would be used. So it's a really interesting like layout. Like at the beginning of the book, before you even got into the book, like there was a publisher's note that said, this is how the author wanted it laid out. It is not mistakes. This is, we've laid it out as she requested. So yeah, so I'm really it's really an interesting book. So you've been watching something, Dammy?
Yeah, my roommates, one of my roommates suggested we watch some RuPaul's Drag Race, which there's a warning that it's for mature audiences, but it's because they say bad words and like,
yeah.
But it's really fun, and they're really salty with each other.
I haven't watched any of it. Obviously I've heard of it and everything, but I've never watched any of it. So, yep. Okay, what I've been watching, we finished rewatching season 2 of Monk last night, and we are headed to New York at the beginning of season 3 because apparently whoever killed Monk's wife, the guy in jail, Dale the Whale, said that he needs to go to New York to talk to someone. So, and I didn't realize originally it wasn't played by him. It was another actor, but they replaced whoever it was playing Dale the Whale with Tim Curry. So I would not have recognized him if I had not seen it in the IMDb. So we finished rewatching season 1 of The Mandalorian because the new episode comes out. I don't know if it's tomorrow or Saturday, but the new season starts. So I'm glad we rewatched it because it had been a while and I needed to be refreshed as to what's happening. I finished watching season 1 of Hellstrom. Yeah, it's a horror thriller, supernatural, all of the things on Hulu. Okay, Dammy, I'm watching the show that I was like, now you know that I am not a huge fan of comedy. It has to be a very particular comedy for me to enjoy it. And when I was going out to the mill on Saturday, I was listening to episodes of Brene Brown's podcast, and she had on like the two, I believe it was the 2 lead actors who are also the writers and producers of this show, called Ted Lasso. Have you heard of this show? It is about a American football coach, like from a university, I want to say it was in Kansas, who is brought over to the UK to coach football, soccer, in the UK. The owner is a woman whose husband, played by Giles from Buffy.
Anthony Head.
Yes, played by Anthony Head, is like this huge womanizer, whatever. She divorces him and she gets the team. So she's trying to destroy the team to get back at her ex-husband. And so she brings this American football coach over who knows nothing about soccer to coach. But he has this way of motivating and leading people that is just like, I don't even know. It's a comedy, but it's like this whole like at the end of an episode, you're just like, oh my gosh. And I watched an episode yesterday. I don't want to spoil it. I ended up crying through this episode. just watching this journey of his I've got, I think, 2 episodes left in season 1. Oh my gosh, when you come home, we're going to have to watch it together. It is so good. They're short episodes. They're only like half-hour episodes, and there's only 10 of them. If even half hour, they might be like 20, 25 minutes. So like you could totally like even binge it in like a day if that was all you did or whatever. I'm glad I gave it a chance because it's really heartwarming. And I feel like with where we are in the world right now, we have to take advantage of every beautiful thing we can. In the midst of all of this. I am watching the final episodes of season 15, the final season of Supernatural. Yeah. Apparently, Jack is going to have to die in order for them to get rid of God, Chuck. So, they're trying to, of course, find a way around it. And then we're watching season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. We got to watch the second of the 2-part start to season 3. And we got,
The cat.
The cat was not in this episode because this was the episode where we saw what happened to Discovery when they went through the time thing and what happened to them and everything. And then just at the very end, what's the lady's name?
Michael.
Yeah. Michael found them. So we
Sounds
had seen
like anti-cat propaganda.
No. In the first episode, we had seen what happened with Michael. In the second episode, which was the second of the 2-parter, we saw what happened to his Discovery, and then now they're together. Okay, and then listening to, I don't know what has happened. There has been much concern because I'm checking to see. Oh, good. The My Favorite Murder podcast episode had not shown up this morning like it normally does, and there was much concern and lamenting and worry on the social medias trying to find out what happened.
What had happened is that Elvis pressed a button.
There was this whole thing was it in the mini-sode or in last week's episode that Karen had heard the death bell. And so we were very concerned for her safety.
Actually, you know what? Don't explain. We're going very far right now. Don't explain.
Yes. David Tennant does a podcast with, this was the like season 2 finale. And so it was like all the people who had been on in season 2, like clips that they had not put into the episode or bloopers or whatever. And so that was kind of the wrap up of season 2. I'm not caught up with Unlocking Us with Brene Brown because I have not listened to the new episode that just dropped this week. But another one of the episodes, because I told you all about the Ted Lasso episode, but I also listened to an episode on, I don't know if I was on the way to the mill or on the way home, because I live an hour from the mill. So I have plenty of good listening time. She had Joe Biden on. And of course, there's political talk on it, but it was much more about leadership. And it was it was a very, very good episode. I highly recommend that you listen to that. Listen to the season 1 finale episode of the Evolving Faith podcast. And they had on transgender and non-binary folks because they had, I can't remember if I told you this last week, Dammy. Because all the episodes for season 1 were from the 2018 conference. And they realized after the fact that they had not had representation of disabled folks or of transgender and non-binary folks. So normally podcast guests are not paid. They paid all 6 of the people they had on last week and this week what they would have made if they had spoken at the conference, which was beautiful. So last week they had 3 disabled folks on. And this week they had on 3 people that were non-binary or trans. And or, depending on how they identified. I mean, that it's all in that same, I can't think of the word, but whether they identified as trans or non-binary. And no, that was last week. So that happened. This week was a benediction for the season. So they had 2 weeks ago, they had that. Last week was transgender and non-binary. And then this week was kind of a ending of the season. So, and for me, random Spotify playlist. What about you?
Kevin Pressure, Spotify.
Yes. All right. I told you we had a lot to talk about, y'all. That just means you have more knitting or cross stitch time while you're watching. So, all right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our September, October, November Artistic Autumnal Owl.
Yes.
So this runs through the 1st of September through the 30th of November, and it is for any project you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to autumn. There are a couple main rules for this. The first is that your project can't have been begun before September 1st and then finished no later than the 30th of November. The other main rule is that each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If it's not 20 yards, you need to group it in a single comment and thus a single photo in our Facebook FO thread, and that will count as one entry. For stitching and sewing projects, it's up to your best judgment. You can feel free to polydip in other longs as long as it fits in with other rules. That's totally fine. Do you want to say something about the Google form?
Just if you have not filled out our Google form, which is linked in the show notes, this just helps us make sure if you are a prize winner that you get a prize you'll actually use, because we don't know who are knitters, who are crocheters, who are spinners, weavers, who are cross stitchers, whatever. If you don't fill out the Google form, you'll just get the prize regardless, because we don't know. So it is beneficial to you to fill out the Google form.
Yes. Sorry. We've got lots of wonderful prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our prize donors. We'll talk about the prizes in more detail next week, but if you want to go see them, you can go to our show notes, ggkcs.com. And if you want to donate a prize for a future owl, you can email us at ggkcspodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
You have to be a member of our GGKCS podcast group on Facebook in order to participate. Facebook.com/groups/GGKCS.
Yeah, and there's the 3 questions you have to answer. What's our cat's name? Pink. Who's the mama, Cece or Dammy? Cece. And read the rules and mark that you agree with them. Just trying to keep the spammers out.
Yep. There's a hashtag if you want to tag projects on social media. It's GGKCS Autumn 20. Our FO thread will be locked for comments on the morning of the 1st of December. Winners will be drawn for the podcast after that. And any winners always have 30 days to claim their prize or they forfeit it.
Yes. I was just going to say, filling out the Google form does not equate with claiming your prize. Yeah. You have to contact us if you are a winner. Just FYI.
There's also a chatter thread in the Facebook group where you can chatter about your projects and yeah. And
ask questions if you have them.
Yeah. And I'll also congratulate people who finished FOs in the past 3 weeks. There were only a few of them. Britt, Emily R, Emily VS, Jane S, Jennifer, Lisa, Sarah, and Tracy.
Great job. So keep working on your projects. You have about a month to go to finish them, and then you might be a winner. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
Now it's time for Ask the Geeks, the part of the show where you ask us questions and we try to answer them.
That's right.
That's how questions work.
Yes.
This week's
question. Ask questions.
Was originally asked and answered in 2015. Mandy asks, what is your favorite travel project?
Why don't you answer first?
I don't know. I don't really craft while traveling anymore. I guess stole socks though, probably, just because I know how to do them the most.
Yes. Yeah, my answer is socks, especially on the 9-inch circular needles, which I call zoom zoom needles because you just zoom around in circles. And I like just the, it's easy to pull this out and knit, even a few stitches on it, or a few rows on it while traveling. And you don't have to worry about pattern. Well, like I have this pattern completely memorized. I don't even have to look at a pattern anymore. And, just it's very, very easy to do. And other than the toe, I do everything on this small needle. So if I get the toe done and get it over onto the 9-inch, I'm not having to worry about changing needles or anything like that. So 100% travel project is socks. So, all right. Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
You can put it in the comments under our YouTube video, or you can, there's an Ask the Geeks thread in our Facebook group where you can comment it.
Yes. And there has not, well, it's been a little bit since you've done it. There has not yet been a question we have not been willing to answer. So feel free to ask away and we will answer them. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Dammy, we made it to the end of the show.
Ooh.
I told y'all at the get-go it was going to be a long one. So some announcements. One thing is that I told y'all last week I had been chosen to be a VIP for the Black Needle Society. You can use the code all capital letters Java Pearl 5 JAVAPURL the number 5 for a discount on your first box of a box-to-box subscription. The code does not work on 6 and 12-month boxes because they already have a discount built in, or on special edition boxes. Links in the show notes. I'm so excited to get my first box and to be able to share that with y'all. So excited. Okay, Dammy, we have news. There are now 5 ways to support the podcast financially. But first, we want to say thank you to everyone who supports the podcast, no matter how it is you do it. Nothing's going to change. We're still going to do these episodes and share them with y'all and share our life with y'all. But it does cost money to do this, especially shipping prices and such. So if you are able to and want to help support financially, we appreciate you very much. All the love. I said the other day, I would love to be able to support everybody I watch financially, and I can't. So I totally understand. But if you're able to and want to, here are the 5 ways you can now do that. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives and earn rewards based on the level you donate at. Dammy, if they want to find out more or want to sign up, where should they go?
Patreon.com/GGKCS.
Okay. In conjunction with that, we now have added the join option on YouTube. As I said, this is not going to change anything of you receiving episodes. You're still going to receive the weekly episode. You're still going to receive the Stitch With Me's, whether you join or not. But in talking with some other podcasters, FlossTubers, somebody brought up that some people may not feel comfortable having to learn a whole new platform. And YouTube is already very comfortable for most people. So what we have done is we've added the join option on YouTube, and the rewards for Patreon and YouTube are now the same. We have made some changes to those, though. So here quickly are the levels and what you get. At the $1 a month level, you get a postcard from us and our undying gratitude. At the $2 a month level, you get all that stuff and a one-time 35% off a single pattern coupon code for our Etsy store. At the $5 level, you get the postcard, our gratitude. You get a monthly 25% off coupon for a single pattern to our Etsy store. You get a monthly 1-hour live chat on YouTube, definitely with me, with Dammy, if they're available. Yeah, so we will schedule that, and that will happen once a month. At the $5 level, you also yearly get to choose either one of our patterns, or if you're a cross stitcher, one of Bindi Stitchy Designs, Michelle's cross stitch patterns, the PDF, and it will be sent to you, so you get to choose what you want. So with that, we are glad to be able to offer that option of whether you're a knitter or a cross stitcher. Okay, at the $10 level, you get the postcard, our thanks, monthly 25% off, monthly live chat, a weekly vlog, usually me, sometimes Dammy. So that'll be posted once a week. The only exception to that is months that we do the daily vlog thing. Like in December, I'll be doing Vlogmas where I vlog every day. If there's any other months that happen like that, because I mean, like I'm already vlogging every day, it doesn't make sense to do a separate vlog. So, and at the $10 level, you also yearly get to choose whether you would like 100 grams of yarn or 4 fancy flosses for cross stitch. You just tell us yarn or floss and we will send those to you. And then at the $15 a month level, you get the postcard, thanks, monthly 25% off, monthly live chat, weekly vlog. Yearly, you will get 200 grams of yarn or 8 flosses, and you get producer credit on our videos. For the yearly things, you will get those items in your 12th month of consecutive support and every subsequent consecutive 12 months after that. If you have any questions, feel free to send us a message. What's our email address, Dammy?
GGKCS podcast@gmail.com.
Yes. So you can sign up on Patreon, or if you're on YouTube, there's now a join button. Okay, that was a lot. Dammy, what's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
Yes. We are bookshop.org affiliates, which is an online bookstore that supports local independent bookstores. If you purchase a book from our list, we earn a commission, as well as local independent bookstores earn money from your purchase. You get the links in the show notes, bookshop.org/shop/GGKCS. And finally, we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you shop on Amazon, if you're going to be shopping on Amazon, if you go to our website first, click on the appropriate link in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes, do your shopping as normal. We earn a little money back based on your purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. That was a lot. But we just wanted to be able to explain what's going on with Patreon and now with YouTube Join. So, all right, Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at ggkcs.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, more.
Whatever else. Yes. All right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. If you are in the U.S. and you have not voted yet, do not mail in your ballot. It will not get there in time. Drop it off in a ballot drop box or take it to your appropriate official. If you don't have the ability to do that, early voting, I believe, is still going on, obviously, and you can vote on election day. Please, 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 please take advantage of this gift that we have of being able to vote, because not everybody has that ability. This next week is going to be extremely difficult for a lot of people. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. If it's getting to be too much, turn off the news. Stop scrolling the websites. Take care of yourself, your mental health, your emotional health, and take care of each other, because we don't know what's going to happen. So take care of each other, take care of yourself, wear your mask, and keep crafting, because that's what's keeping me sane now, and I know a lot of people feel the same. Do you have anything you want to add in there, Dammy?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I will be back with you on Monday with a Stitch with Me, and then Dammy will be with us again next week for the episode, since we had the weird stuff. Dammy might be extremely tired because next week is when they're doing their week-long workshop for the show. I think Dammy is frozen right now. There's Dammy. Internet, gotta love it. But Dammy will be back with us again next week, and we look forward to seeing you. Until then, happy crafting. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye.
I told everybody at work, I said, our cat is so much bigger than that other cat. And they're like, really? I said, yeah. I said, she's like 17 pounds. They were like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I said, you're beautiful. Yeah. You're beautiful. Okay, there you go. There you go.